There goes another one, guys. Another one bites the dust. Lordstown Motors today went down 17% after we got word the company's now filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and they're suing Foxconn, which they had a deal with. We'll talk about that in a second. And you guys probably remember this company from back in the 2020-2021 bubble era, if you will. That's what I kind of like to call it at this point. This was one of those SPACs that, went public, then the stock went ballistic, right? And here we are today when they're filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and their stock is down a crap ton, and it got to 90 cents even after they did a 1-for-15 reverse stock split, which is just laughable, guys. So we're going to break down Lordstown in this video, talk about the stock, the charts. We'll break down what's going on with the bankruptcy. But before we actually do that, guys, don't forget to get up to 17 free stocks from Moomoo. You have 3 more days to do that. Open up your account and fund it with at least $100 using that link down below, and you get 5 free stocks, and you get another free share of C3AI stock, which is exclusive to this channel, guys. And again, that's just with a $100 deposit, and fund your account with at least $1,000. You get 10 more stocks, totaling 16 stocks, and fund your account with at least $5,000. Listen to this, guys. You get another free share of stock on top of all the stocks you already got of either Tesla or Google, guaranteed. And again, the clock is ticking, guys. 3 more days, so use that link down below. And of course, that's an affiliate link, guys. It helps out the channel. I appreciate you all as always. And with that being said, let me actually tighten up my mic here a little bit. It's a little bit loose here, guys. There we go. And with that being said, let's dive right into the video. So again, this stock was one of those that was heavily talked about, especially in the retail community. You guys probably remember. I personally traded this multiple times myself. Made some money, lost some money, right? And it was very popular in the retail community. If I pull up the 3-year chart, you guys can see this stock got all the way up to $477, which again, they did a 1-for-15 split recently. So that split adjusted, but still pretty crazy, guys, considering we were at that point almost $500. Now we're at what? $2.29. I mean, that is just unbelievable, right? So Lordstown Motors is down a ton, right? And this company, I believe, was ran by the same guy that was running Workhorse Motors or Workhorse Group. What the heck was that one called? You guys remember that, right? We made videos about this years ago talking about it. They had a deal that potentially was going to go through with the USPS, right? You guys remember that? And of course, it didn't go through. And now it's down to 79 cents, and it was at $42. I believe the same guy that ran Workhorse, or that's still running it, maybe. Honestly, I haven't kept track with these companies at all, but I believe it's the same guy that runs Lordstown Motors. Either way, these two were popping back then about 2-3 years ago. When was it? About 2.5 years ago at this point. And now they're both on the verge of, well, I guess Lordstown filed for bankruptcy, and I'm not sure if Workhorse did, but they're probably next. Let's be honest, guys. They're probably next on that list. So going back to Lordstown Motors, today it went down 17%, and I'm not exactly sure what day they announced this. I think it was yesterday, but look, it was at 280. Yeah, it must have been yesterday, guys, because it closed at 280, and this morning it was at 90 cents in the pre-market. So that was a massive dump pre-market. I think at one point it was down, 65%, which is just unbelievable. So that happened. It got to 90 cents, and the crazier thing, I guess, honestly, guys, is the fact that it went from 90 cents and it more than doubled to $2.29 at close. That was a move of 150%. Pretty remarkable if you ask me. So let me actually pull up the CNBC article, guys. Bear with me here, and we'll talk about what's going on here with the bankruptcy and Foxconn. What the heck's going on there with Foxconn? So you guys can see Lordstown Motors files for bankruptcy, and they sue Foxconn over a $170 million funding deal. If we come down here a little bit more, this is the Lordstown Motor Corp's Endurance electric pickup truck as it was displayed during an unveiling event in Lordstown, Ohio on June 25th, 2020, which, guys, that was just about 3 years to the date prior to me filming this video. So struggling electric truck maker, I guess they're just a truck maker, that's right. They didn't have any sedans or anything like that. So struggling electric truck maker Lordstown Motors filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection on Tuesday and said that it would put itself up for sale amid an ongoing dispute over investments that had been promised by Taiwanese manufacturer Foxconn Foxconn. Shares fell as much as 60% in early trading following the news, but recovered some ground to end Tuesday's session down 17% from Monday's close, yada, yada, yada. And you guys can see here, simultaneously with its bankruptcy filing, Lordstown filed a suit against Foxconn. The company accused Foxconn of fraud and failing to abide by an agreement that called for the Taiwan-based firm to invest up to $170 million in Lordstown and for the two to work together on a range of new electric vehicles. So who the heck knows what ended up happening with that, between these two companies behind the scenes? I mean, I have no idea, guys. Probably all of you out there watching have no idea. You could only guess. And maybe the deal, or maybe Taiwan, what's it called again? Foxconn, which again is based in Taiwan. Maybe they didn't see the potential in Lordstown, but there was a deal there, so now there's going to be some legal action. Or maybe they didn't want to go through with it. I have no idea what's going on, guys, but there's legal action now. They're going to go back and forth, and, well, we'll let the courts decide on what the heck's going to go on from there. But in a statement provided to CNBC, Foxconn said it had hoped to continue discussions to reach a solution that would, quote, satisfy all stakeholders without resorting to baseless legal actions. But in light of the litigation and what it characterized as Lordstown's attempts to mislead the public, it is suspending talks and reversing the right to take legal action of its own. And if you guys didn't know, Lordstown launched in 2019 with a factory acquired from GM, General Motors, and the support of the last presidential administration struck a deal to sell that Ohio factory to Foxconn for $230 million last year. And following the deal, which closed in May 2022, about a year ago, Lordstown and Foxconn agreed to a second deal in which Foxconn would invest up to $170 million in Lordstown, taking a 19.3% stake in the startup. So I'm not going to lie, I don't know too much about this relationship here. We don't know what the heck's going on behind the scenes, but that is, there's legal action, and that's kind of what's going on here with Foxconn and Lordstown. And the crazy thing is, guys, I was reading earlier when I was just first reading into the story today, this company, Lordstown, was worth $5 billion at the peak, which you guys saw the stock, right? It's at what, 450, or it was at 450 at one point, 470, whatever the heck it was. And that at that point was $5 billion market cap. And at this point, guys, it's got to be like 50 million, if that. I was reading their net revenues for the last quarter, were $180,000. I mean, guys, that is just a joke for a company that, again, was worth at one point $5 billion. Now the market cap, you guys want to hear this? Unbelievable. I said 50 million. It's 38 million, $38.46 million market cap for Lordstown Motors. And again, think about it. It was at $5 billion at one point. That is just unbelievable. So Foxconn paid the first $52.7 million due under that deal last year, and the next payment of $47.3 million was due within 10 days of regulatory approval by the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, and that approval was secured in late April, Lordstown said, but Foxconn never made the payment. So boom, there we go. That's probably what sparked the legal action here. And of course, if you guys didn't know, in early May, Lordstown warned investors that a bankruptcy filing was likely if it didn't reach an agreement with Foxconn or acquire additional funding elsewhere. And lo and behold, here we are, guys. Lordstown had just $108 million, in cash available at the end of March after losing $171 million in the first quarter. So guys, the way this works, especially with companies that make just a whopping $190,000 per quarter in revenue, net revenues, guys, which is just laughable. How this works is these companies, well, they're not profitable, obviously, and they need funding from other firms. They need funding from, other companies out there, or they need to raise shares, or not raise shares, but issue shares to raise cash and dilute the existing shares. That's what has to happen. And if it doesn't happen, if that cash supply to the company vanishes, well, they're not going to be able to fund their massively losing operation to hopefully one day become profitable, which in this case, guys, it's probably not, well, it's not going to happen now for Lordstown. But look, a lot of these companies, guys, all these companies that are in that phase where they're just trying to get, they're kind of pre-revenue, they're trying to get to where they need to be. They're losing a lot of money, and if they, again, that cash supply shuts off, they lose a deal, or they lose funding, or they can't issue shares, raise money, they're not going to have money to fund operations, and boom, bankruptcy, right? That is what happened here, and it's going to happen a lot more probably with, we've seen it with a lot of companies already this year, and probably more, into the end of this year and the rest of this year, 2024, maybe beyond. We'll see, guys. There's always going to be companies that file for bankruptcy. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. And guys, don't forget to get up to 17 free stocks for Moomoo, each up to $2,000. The sponsor of this video, guys. Open up your account, link down below, and fund it with at least $100. You get 5 stocks, and you get another free share of C3AI stock, which is exclusive to this channel, and that stock's what, $35-$40 a share, and that's with just a $100 deposit. And fund your account with $1,000, you get 10 more stocks, totaling 16 stocks. And guys, listen to this, fund it with at least $5,000 on top of all the stocks you already got. The 16 stocks you got, you also get another free share of either Tesla or Google, guaranteed, which, guys, this is by far the best promo right now. So if you want that free money, which you have 3 more days to do it, clock is ticking, 3 more days, use that link down below. And of course, it helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys as always. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you all in the next video. Let me know what stocks you get in the comments. I'll see you later.